Her stepmother smiled. Go and fetch water. But the water was poisoned. She wasn't choosing, wasn't special, until the poison made her unstoppable. They tried to kill her with water, but she became something they couldn't drown. A quiet girl with dry lips wasn't supposed to live. Now she is rewriting the prophecy. The poison didn't kill her. It woke something ancient in her blood. Amara wasn't meant to survive, but the water made her its weapon. I used to be a quiet girl. I wasn't timid or shy. I just liked to watch, learn, and maybe hide. I loved sitting near my father's feet when he worked on his carvings. He made stools, spoons, benches, walking sticks, anything his hands could shape from wood. He was tall, fair in complexion, and his body was well built, earning him the number 3 among the most handsome men in our village, Jepmi village. He didn't care, but I did. He would hum songs I didn't know the words to, but the rhythm, his smile, and everything made me feel safe. He called me Ineoma. It meant my mother's good thing. He said I had her eyes, her nose, her power. My dark skin made me look like a goddess. I don't remember her face. She died when I was still small at the age of 8. I only remember how I used to tug at her wrapper, how she smelled like Gary and hibiscus, how she once held my head when I had a fever. The day they said she died, I didn't really cry. I just stood by the doorway and stared as they made arrangements for her burial. I didn't know if it was a shock or if somehow I knew her soul didn't really leave me. They said she collapsed on the farm. No sickness, no pain, just fell like a leaf. But even at 8 years old, I noticed things. How the women avoided eye contact at the burial. How nobody talked about her death. Only whispered when they thought no one was there. Somebody knew something. But I was just a girl without a mother. A girl who didn't know her life had just started. When my father remarried, the villagers said it was a good thing. They said, it is not good for a man to stay alone. He needs someone to warm the bed, to cook, to take care of the child, bear more children for the handsome man. She looked harmless, soft voice, pretty face, smooth, fair skin that looked like it never saw hardship. Her name was Ijeoma Obasi. She came with her own daughter, a baby at the time, Ngozi. And for a while, everything was okay. We all ate together, slept under the same leaking zinc roof until Papa got some money to repair the roof and renovate the house. I even played with Ngozi sometimes and taught her how to say Papa and Star. But peace is like a lizard on the wall. It watches. Then it started. One night, I came home late from fetching water. My neck was sore. My hands were red, but there was no food. She smiled. Oh, did I forget to keep for you? Next time, come early. It happened again and again. She started sprinkling pepper in my drinking water, locking the door when I returned late. I slept outside, under mosquito songs. Sometimes she would tell neighbors I stole her wrapper, but I was greedy. My father saw it all. He said nothing. At first, I thought he was afraid of her. But later, I realized he was just tired. He was tired of fighting, tired of responsibility, maybe even tired of me. His love didn't vanish. It faded, like fog when the sun comes up. When he started coughing blood, he drank agbo. No hospital, no prayer. He shrank. right before my eyes. He died with no funeral. She cried loud outside, where people could see, then burned his clothes, threw away his carvings. Someone said he was poisoned, but in Jepme, death had become ordinary. After his death, she stopped pretending. She called me useless, stopped feeding me after I had spent hours cooking with firewood in the cold, sent me to neighbors to beg for pepper just to shame me. Ngozi had beads and clean wrappers. I had holes in my dress. She didn't want me, but she didn't want to set me free either. People in the village started falling sick. Small children had boils under their armpits. Some old men had running stomachs that didn't stop. They said it was the water. Cheap water from the big water factory near the old textile place. Water that came out swelling like bleach. It burned throats and made eyes red. But people still drank it, because clean water was for the rich. The rich bought bottled water. They didn't care. My stepmother, Chioma, was one of them. She started a small water business. They bought factory water in the city in bulk, boiled it a little, added something inside, sealed it and sold it in fancy bottles. 500 naira per bottle. People said it was clean, said it tasted fresh. But it was probably the same water, just dressed in better clothes. Chioma made money. She even bought a new phone. She said she wanted to buy land in Umuahia. But I knew that the water was still dangerous, because she didn't drink it herself. One evening, she entered my room. I was plaiting my hair with black thread and chewing on gravy to stop the hunger. She stood by the door, holding a jerry can. "Take this," she said. I looked up. "Where to?" "Go to the factory, the one behind the old textile place. Fill it. Bring it back before morning." I paused. I had heard stories about that place. Why would she send me to another factory when she had customers in the city? "I can go with Ngozi." Before I finished, a slap hit my cheek. My cheek felt hot. Tears jumped to my eyes, but I didn't cry. I couldn't, when she was still there. "Ungrateful girl! You eat in my house, sleep under my roof, and you still get mouth?" I swallowed. I said, "Go and fetch water, or don't come back." The sky was dark. Not night yet, but getting there. My heart beat fast as I tied my wrapper tight, carried the jerry can on my head, and started walking. The road to the old factory was far. Long, bumpy, full of potholes. I walked past the school field, past the bush path where people throw dirt, past the abandoned market that now smelled like dead fish and burnt oil. No one followed me or asked questions. It wasn't as if someone really cared. I walked fast. My throat was dry. I had only one small bottle of clean water, hidden inside my house. Just one sip left. But I was saving it, for when my body would really need it. When I reached the factory, I stopped. It didn't look like a factory anymore. It looked like a graveyard. The walls had zigzag on them. The gate was bent. The borehole pipe stood like a metal neck without a head. Water dripped slowly. The ground was muddy and black. A dead lizard floated in a bucket nearby. I was about to drop my jerry can when I heard something. "Ha! Chineke! Somebody help me, oh!" It was a weak voice. Old. I turned around. An old man was by the side of the road, bent over, Her back was curved like a bow. She was pulling a big cart filled with dirty containers. She wore an old lace blouse and 2 wrappers. Her hair was grey. One of her shoes was missing. Nobody else was around. She looked at me. Her eyes were tired, but she smiled. "My daughter, please, help me push it small. Just small," she said. I wanted to say no. I wanted to fetch my water and leave. The sun was going. My legs were already shaking. But her eyes, my heart. I dropped my jerrycan, went to her side. Together we pushed the cart. The mud soaked our slippers. The wheels got stuck. Mosquitoes danced around our heads, singing. But we kept going. When we reached a tree, she sat down, breathing hard. Her hands were shaking already. I looked at her lips. They were dry and pale. Her tongue was white. She was thirsty. I remembered my small bottle, the last clean water I had. I removed it from my blouse. I opened it. I gave it to her. She looked surprised. "Are you sure?" she asked. I nodded. She drank slowly. Tears filled her eyes. I don't know if it was the water or something else. She looked at me. "You are not like them," she whispered. "Even when your throat is dry, you still give." I looked down and shrugged, playing with my fingers. "I am used to thirst." She stood up, but this time, her back straightened. Her skin began to shine. Her wrappers turned to flowing gold. The cat disappeared. I stepped back quickly. My heart started to jump. I wanted to run, but she touched my shoulder, and everything became quiet. The wind stopped. Even the trees bowed. There was no wind and they bowed. "My name is Oshun," she said. Her voice was like many waters. I gasped. "Mama Oshun." I had heard the name from songs, from stories my father used to tell me when he was walking. She smiled. "I have been watching you. I came in the form of an old woman to see if anyone still had a clean heart." She touched my forehead. Warmth flowed through my body. "You have passed the test." Light entered my eyes. I closed them. And when I opened them, I saw water. Different kinds. Clean, black. Some were buried under rocks. Some were hiding behind trees. I could see where it flowed and where it was poisoned. I saw the factory. Men pouring white powder into the water tank. Chioma collecting gallons, filling bottles, lying to the people. I saw my village. Children crying, mothers boiling muddy water, a girl drinking from a bowl and falling to the ground. I screamed, but it was not the pain. It was power. Mama Oshun's voice entered my ears again before she disappeared. "From today, your hands can purify. Your eyes will see the hidden truth. Wherever there is injustice, you will know." I was standing there, alone, with my jerry can still empty. I walked home with the empty jerry can, but my heart was full. Something inside me had changed. I didn't know how to explain it. I just knew. By the time I reached the house, the moon was up. The compound was dark. As usual, Ngozi's voice was shouting from inside the house. "Where is my necklace? That gold one! Chioma shouted back. Don't disturb me! Use the silver one! I entered through the back into the kitchen. Then I heard something strange. Water. Splashing. Bubbling. But I hadn't fetched anything. I looked around the kitchen. Nothing. Then I went out into the compound. And my eyes opened wide. Water was coming out from the ground. Right there. In front of Papa's old cabin shed. It was not just any water. It was clean. Sparkling. Blue like the sky during the day. Cold like Harmattan breeze. It flowed gently. Like it had been sleeping all this while and finally woke up. I didn't even notice Ngozi until she screamed. Mommy! Mommy! Come and see you! Chioma came running, tying her wrapper in a hurry. See what? Hey! She stopped. She blinked. What is this? Where is this water coming from? I stood there, dumbfounded. I knew Mama Osho had promised me, but I didn't expect to start seeing it happen this night. I didn't say anything. She came closer, touched the water, then bent down and sniffed it. She tasted it. Her face changed. This is pure, she whispered. Before I knew it, people entered our compound and gathered. Neighbors came with lanterns. Some brought buckets. Some just stared. Old women began to cry. The blind man touched the water and said, "This is holy. This water is not ordinary." By morning, the whole village knew. Children were bathing inside it. Women were filling drums. Even goats came close and drank from it without fear. They were thirsty too. Someone asked, "Who opened it?" And before I could hide or do something, little Chika shouted, "It is Auntie Amara. I saw her standing near the tree last night. She is the one." People turned to me, eyes wide, mouth open. Amara? That girl? The stepdaughter? The one Chioma always sends around like a servant? I looked down, ashamed. I had gone from the dark-skinned beauty of Jempi village to a servant in few years. But the ground didn't swallow me. It lifted me. The women came first. They held my hands, rubbed my face. "You have gifts, my child," Mama Zane said. "You are not ordinary," Mama Juliet added, smiling at me. The men came too. The village chief knelt beside the water. He dipped his hand inside and raised it to the sky. "Today," he said, "we have seen the hand of the gods." Then Chika shouted, "Water girl!" His mother repeated it, nodding her head. Soon the whole compound was chanting, "Water girl! Water girl! Water girl!" I stood there, my chest rising and falling. Joy. Freedom. I had never felt this before since Papa died. Belonging. But not everyone was clapping, happy with me. Chioma was standing by the doorway. Her eyes were small, her lips pressed tight. Ngozi looked very angry. She dropped her necklace and walked away. For the first time, she was not the center. 2 days later, government people came to the village. Black jeeps, shiny shoes, clipboards. They wore face masks and gloves. They tested the water from Chioma's bottles. They looked at each other and nodded. "This water is contaminated," one man said, adjusting his glasses. "Not only dirty, but poisoned." People screamed, lashing out on her as they dragged her hair. Mba, no wonder my child has rash. My husband's teeth are falling. My son has been vomiting and pooing. Wicked woman, you and your daughter are evil. They stormed Chioma's store. They broke the signboard. They tore her banners. They poured her water on the floor. Mama Zane threw the last bottle off a table. Devil's water! Chioma begged, crying. She knelt. She raised her hands. Please, I didn't know. I just wanted to help. One officer showed her receipts. You signed for chemicals. You paid for mixing. You even bribed the inspector last month. She started crying. I can explain. They didn't listen. They took her picture. They closed her store. They sealed her little borehole, the one in her backyard, that she used to mix those chemicals. They sealed the water factory that sold cheap, dirty water. They found out Chioma was working with those wicked men to sell the cheap, dirty water. He was getting profits from those people and was still getting our profit here, but selling the so-called clean bottled water. Ngozi screamed like a baby throwing tantrums. Mommy, I can't bathe with sachet water or Amara's water. It is not classy. Chioma slapped her. Will you shut up? You caused all this. I shook my head and watched as they took Chioma away to the police station. Her hands handcuffed. As for me, I didn't sell the spring water. I didn't even charge people. I just made sure nobody fetched with dirty containers or dirty hands. I kept the area clean. I made a small signboard with Papa's carving tools. Amara Spring. Drink and be well. People donated bags of rice, slippers, a new wrapper. Zane gave me a notebook. Papa Chika said he wanted to teach me how to use a computer. Soon, people from other towns in Lagos came. They asked for help. I heard you see water in the ground, a man said. My village has been dry for 2 years. Can you help us? So I started moving around. I started a small group where we fixed wells, we cleaned ponds, we used charcoal filters, we planted moringa trees. We called it Water for Light. People clapped, children danced, old men cried. I was not only water girl, I was Amara, the name my father gave me. One morning, the village lawyer came to visit me. He held a brown envelope. Your father left this, he said, staring at me with pity. But someone told us you died. Chioma. I opened it. There was land paper, money in a bank account, and a letter. My Inyoma, if you ever find this, know that I have loved you with my whole heart. I shouldn't have married her. Whatever she told you, don't believe it. You are not small. You are meant to shine, my baby. Your papa. I cried as I read the letter over and over again, under the mango tree. Ngozi walked past. Her beads were gone. Her feet was dusty. She looked at me. Then she looked away. I didn't say anything. I didn't need to, because the water had already spoken. This story teaches us that the land listens, the water remembers. What you give comes back. What you hide will hide from you. What just happened? Tell me what you would have done in the comments. I am reading every single one. Coming next week, a story that will break your heart, then heal it in the same breath. You won't see it coming. Don't miss the next twist. Hit subscribe and slap that notification like it owes you answers. Still processing this one? Don't stop now. Watch more of our stories and keep discovering surprises you didn't expect.